All right, so we're back with another deep dive, and today we're going to be looking ahead to this Coventry City versus Ipswich Town FA Cup match. And you know what? I think this one could be a little more interesting than maybe some people give any credit for.
Yeah, at first glance you think Premier League team, Championship team, Ipswich should win this one,
Yeah.
right? But maybe not so fast.
Right, exactly. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, both of these teams are coming in with, let's just say, a lot going on. We've got Coventry still trying to push for a playoff spot, and Ipswich, well, they're fighting to stay in the Premier League altogether.
Yeah.
So, let's start with Coventry. They've been on a good run recently, 3 wins in a row before that loss to Leeds.
Yeah, they really have. And even in that loss, it was against the top team in the championship, and they showed a lot of fight. They didn't just roll over.
Yeah, that's right. And, thinking back to their FA Cup run last season, they went all the way to the semifinals. So they definitely know how to play in this tournament. And, their counterattacking style could really cause problems for Ipswich.
Yeah.
That defense hasn't looked very solid lately.
No, it hasn't. 4 losses in a row, including one to, well, the bottom team in the Premier League. So that's a real worry for them.
Yeah. So, you've got Coventry City with momentum, with motivation, and with a style of play that could really take advantage of Ipswich's weaknesses. So that's Coventry. Let's flip it over. Let's talk about Ipswich for a second. So, as I mentioned, they're really struggling in the Premier League. 4 losses in a row, and that's put them, well, dangerously close to the relegation zone.
Right. And that's got to be their main focus, staying in the Premier League. When you think about it, they're almost fighting two battles here, avoiding relegation and trying to make a run in the FA Cup.
Yeah, it's almost like too much on their plate at the same time, isn't it?
It is. And I think, it wouldn't be a surprise to see them maybe rest some of their key players in this match, keep them fresh for those crucial league games.
Right. So what you're saying is we could see a heavily rotated Ipswich squad out there on the pitch. And if that's the case, well, that just makes things even more interesting for Coventry.
Exactly. It becomes a real opportunity, especially at home. Coventry has that home advantage. They'll have the crowd behind them. They're going to be fired up.
Right. It's a chance to, I don't know, maybe even get a little bit of revenge for that loss to Ipswich back in April.
Yeah, exactly. Because Ipswich did win that match. It wasn't a blowout or anything, but it was a win.
Hmm.
And so, you factor that in, plus everything else we've been talking about. And yeah, you could have all the makings of a classic FA Cup upset.
And that's what makes the FA Cup so great, right? It's that unpredictability, the fact that, you just never really know what's going to happen. A team from a lower league can knock off a Premier League giant. It happens all the time.
All the time. Yeah. And that's what makes it so exciting.
So who knows? Maybe we'll see Coventry pull it off. Or maybe Ipswich, even if they do rotate their squad, they find a way to, I don't know, get their confidence back, get a win, and turn things around.
Who knows? But I tell you what, this is going to be a really, really intriguing match.
That's for sure. A clash of styles, a clash of ambitions, maybe even a clash of desperation. You really couldn't ask for much more, could you?
Well, maybe just one thing. A nice, clean match played in the true spirit of the game.
Of course, of course. But yeah, in terms of excitement and intrigue, this one's got it all. So there you have it, folks. That's our deep dive into this Coventry versus Ipswich match. We've given you the information. Now it's up to you to decide. Who do you think will win?